Jackals and dragons. Very interesting combination, don't you think? Well, this combination came from a discussion about translation and interpretation. Sometimes when things are translated and are interpreted, they end up some things end up getting lost in interpretation. This video is mainly based on the Hebrew word for jackal and the Hebrew word for dragon or serpent. In some cases, these words are very similar to each other. I think one is tanin, which is the Hebrew word for dragon / serpent, because it's used in both senses. And then you have tan, which is the Hebrew word for jackal. Now, lots of times these words are mixed up together depending on the translation and the interpretation. Older translations going all the way back to the Septuagint usually translated the word tanin solely as dragon or serpent, based on the subject matter around these verses translated. For example, the story of Moses and the serpent staff, staff that turned into a serpent. When it's first discussed earlier at the burning bush, it is a different word is used than tanin. It's nakash or nachash. I'm not really sure how to pronounce these words, folks. But when Moses goes talking to Pharaoh, the word that's used for both Moses' staff and the Pharaoh's magician staffs is tanin or taninim, which is also used for dragon serpent. Some translators say that this refers to a cobra, which of course was real big, real popular in Egyptology. That's the big king snake, that kind of thing. In other passages, where the word tanin is used, it describes a giant sea beast, a giant sea monster that lives in the ocean, in the lakes, in the rivers. One of the prime examples, of course, is Leviathan from Job chapter 40, a fire-breathing monster that lives in the water and is described as being very terrible with teeth and thick skin. Then there's also Behemoth, a large terrestrial form. Some say it's a dinosaur, some say it's a elephant. Me, I personally lean towards the surviving species of dinosaur, but that's just me. Now, going into the jackal part of it, newer translations of the Bible, from all the years of history and different translations, they've gotten the plural word for jackal and the singular word for dragon kind of mixed up over the years, over the centuries, over the millenniums, I guess I could say. And in some passages, the word jackal is used where the word dragon should be used, and the word dragon is used where the word jackal should be used. And there was one describing a dragon as being very mammal-like, but that should be the word for jackal. Now, in some newer versions, I think it's mainly done to do away with any of the supposed fantasy imagery in the Bible. They've done down on the word dragon and have inserted like sea monster, whale, or just serpent in the place of dragon. or sea serpent. This I think was mainly come from a scientific thing, because modern science views dragons, they're just big mythological creatures, they're not real. Well, me personally, this is just my point of view, is dragons were real. They're not the creatures of fantasy we see today. They were either gross interpretations or misinterpretations of seeing crocodiles in the Nile, giant serpents in India, like reticulated pythons and stuff like that. Or either they could have been surviving species of dinosaurs. And I say, dinosaurs didn't live with man, but hey, what other living creature on Earth matches the description of a dinosaur? Think of the wyvern, the dragon with no front legs, 2 legs, 2 wings. That kind of dragon that looks like a flying dinosaur, a pterosaur, pterodactyl, pteranodon, Quetzalcoatlus. The big flying dinosaurs that looks like a dragon. But modern science says, oh no, dragons weren't real, but they were real. If you showed someone in medieval history a toy or a drawing of a dinosaur, they'd say that was a dragon. Even the T-Rex, they'd say that was a dragon. There is a statue in China of a dragon that has a similar profile to an Allosaurus or a theropod type dinosaur, the meat-eating dinosaurs with the short front arms and the long legs. There's a dragon statue from early Chinese history, like I think 7th century BC. I'd have to look it up before. You can look it up yourself to see for sure. I didn't do much research before recording this, but okay, me personally, this is what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the history behind things, like the words and things. I like to view alternate history sometimes. I believe that dinosaurs lived with man. Now, if there's any surviving species of dinosaurs, I do not think they would look like what's found in the fossil record. I mean, think of crocodiles and other reptiles that were mammoth-sized in the fossil records versus the ones that are found nowadays. The biggest crocodiles only get up, 20 feet, whereas the ones found in the fossil record were 40, 50 feet. The same goes with snakes and turtles. Modern dinosaurs would be smaller and look slightly different from their prehistoric cousins. Well, prehistoric or fossilized ancestors, whatever. Well, I think I've done enough rambling in this video. It's getting close to the end mark, so I hope you enjoyed it. This was mostly a rambling video because I once again didn't have a script and a totally different subject matter than what is playing out on screen. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one. I'll see you next time. Like, share, subscribe, and whatever every YouTuber says. Good day.